Bermuda, it turns out, is in the wrong place. See, I've always thought of Bermuda as being an island in the Caribbean, an inviting but mysterious tropical paradise. Tales of inexplicable disappearances associated with the Bermuda Triangle made my mind spin when I was a child, filling me with an almost metaphysical terror at the ocean's caprice. Bermuda, it seemed, constituted one vertex of some uncanny confluence of forces. But that confluence was, thankfully, contained within a relatively small area of the Caribbean Sea. Imagine my surprise to learn that Bermuda is not, in fact, in the Caribbean at all, but is rather an archipelago of hundreds of islands in the North Atlantic, 1,000 kilometers off the coast of North Carolina. Rather than describing a small but treacherous stretch of the Caribbean, the triangle encompasses around 1 million square miles of the Atlantic Ocean, including much of the Bahamas and many of the shipping lanes coming in and out of Florida and the Gulf of Mexico. Of course, the Bermuda Triangle is a myth dreamt up by writers in the 1950s and 60s. Edward Van Winkle Jones wrote a piece called Seas Puzzles Still Baffle Men in Push-Button Age for the Miami Herald in September 1950. A writer for a paranormal magazine called Fate published Sea Mystery at Our Back Door in 1952. The imaginary phenomenon got its name from a writer named Vincent Gaddis in an article called The Deadly Bermuda Triangle in 1964. These impressions were based not even on a statistical fluke. This area of the ocean is not, statistically speaking, any more dangerous than any other stretch of water in the world, but rather on an entirely anecdotal collection of evidence. The mysterious confluence of forces converging on Bermuda is as fictional as the vectors of the interconnectedness of all things that Dirk Gently traced to a beach in Bermuda where he would travel while investigating the disappearance of elderly ladies' cats. Bermuda was colonized by the British in the early 17th century and is still a British overseas territory. Unlike many New World colonies, Bermuda did not have an indigenous population to be displaced by its colonizers, though. Given this unique history, the cuisine is less of a Creole than that of the Caribbean islands to Bermuda's south, consisting of mostly British and Portuguese influences on a diet revolving largely around fish. Visitors to Bermuda do not come away from the islands raving about the fish chowder or mussel pie, though. They tell tales of the fish sandwiches, featuring locally caught wahoo or snapper filleted, cut into strips, breaded and fried, and piled high with coleslaw and tartar sauce on toasted, fresh-baked Bermudian raisin bread. A fish sandwich on raisin bread sounded like a food crime to me, but the people who have tried the sandwich in Bermuda speak of it in rapturous tones. I first learned of it from a TikTok friend a few years ago who called the fish sandwich from Art Mel's Spicy Dicey in Bermuda hands down the best in the world. Sadly, I did not have the time nor the budget to travel to Bermuda this month, but I was able to acquire some good snapper fillets, which I breaded and fried in peanut oil. Different sources claim different coatings for Bermudian-style fried fish, beer batters, breadcrumbs, even seasoned cornflakes. But the photos I saw of Art Mel's fried fish looked like a simple dry, wet, dry breading method. I drizzled a little lemon juice over the fillet strips before breading them, and I used flour seasoned with paprika, cayenne pepper, onion powder and garlic powder, and salt for the dry portion, and an egg wash with hot sauce mixed into it for the wet. The resulting fish strips were firm and thick, fried crisp but still moist within, well seasoned and just a bit on the spicy side. The full list of condiments for this sandwich varies from description to description, but will generally include Bermudian takes on tartar sauce and coleslaw, sometimes slices of tomato and or cheddar cheese, and often a Bermudian hot sauce. And they put all that on toasted raisin bread. I can't lie though, the raisin bread is a brilliant touch. Perhaps it is my inherent caucasity leading me down a grim and flavorless path, but having tasted this sandwich, I cannot bring myself to agree. The fish is crisp-surfaced and bursting, spicy and savory, and well complemented by the juicy garden tomato, the fresh crunch of coleslaw, the briny bits of caper and pickles suspended in the tartar sauce, and believe it or not, by the occasional sweet burst of a rum-soaked raisin embedded in the bread. As always, my culinary travels are accomplished mainly through the vehicle of my own kitchen, and I don't know how close I got to the genuine Bermudian article. This sandwich could only be improved by being made from fish caught earlier the same day. But I'm pleased with how it turned out.